This is what they do. They turn around, and what do? They turn around the golden goose. The numbers, they're out. And I had to go off on a couple minutes, and I had to check the audio, but we're good to go now. You know why? Because we figured it out. We've got it in stone. We've got it in writing. It's there. We not only worked out the audio issue right now, but we're coming on strong because the ratings are out. The numbers speak for themselves. This is for all the naysayers, for all the doubters, for all the trolls, for all the haters that wanted to bitch, whine, and complain that the league is bigger than one person. It's not. And we've got proof. And now that the audio is fixed up on this Wednesday edition of On Cue, I can tell you, I'm going to talk about it. We're going to get into it. It's undeniable. The WNBA ratings drop, and one thing is certain. I don't care what the mainstream media tells you. I don't care what other talking heads tell you. Number 22, Caitlin Clark, if you thought you knew, now you know. She is the face of the league. She is the golden goose. And the WNBA starts, you better start kissing her ass. You better start kissing her ass. That's all I'm going to say. That's all I'm going to say. And again, I apologize for the audio mix-up 30 seconds in. But now you got the rant powered by my good friends over at Fresh Roasted Coffee. 20% off. Oh, by the way, the ratings, let's dive into them. Let's get into them because they are absolutely on another level. Setting viewership records for CBS, NBC, ESPN, ION, and the USA Network. And why? Because it's one person. Let's just call it for what it is. Indiana-Chicago game on Sunday averaged 3.21 million on NBC Peacock. It's the most watched regular season WNBA game since the league's inaugural season in 1997. But again, I got to listen to the little rats out there that are going to tell me that the league has better players. The league has faces of the league. It's got to be Miles and Mitchell, and it's got to be Reese, Carrington, Wilson, Young. No. No. I don't want to hear it anymore. It's facts. Let's go. Let's get into it. All this nonsense, it's all smoke and mirrors. That's all it is. It's smoke and mirrors. We don't want to accept what we already knew all along. We don't want to accept what, to some, is unacceptable. That you've got Middle America, the plain Jane, the little girl with the curl, Caitlin Clark, who is not only dominating on the court, but has shown you she's carrying this league. She's carrying the WNBA. The numbers, the ratings, so for all the goofballs, the McNutts, the Brunsons, the Jamel Hills, all these nuts, because that's what you are, bunch of friggin' nuts, want to keep pushing back the goalpost and sit there and say, no, the league's chock full of stars. No one's disputing that. No one's denying that. But when you have Indiana and Chicago, and I'm glad you guys were laughing, I was going off for 30 seconds with no audio. But when you have Indiana and Chicago that average 3.3 million viewers on NBC and Peacock, making it the most watched game, and it's the third most watched regular season game ever, and it peaked at 3.82 million, you know who's the catalyst? It's Caitlin Clark. She's the catalyst. She's the cash cow. And we better get used to it. Tino, what's going on? Happy Wednesday to you. Yes, I am going to rant on. Monica, we on. We fixed the audio, Monica. We fixed the audio. We were ranting for a good 30 seconds, right? But we fixed the audio, and now we're good to go. We are good to go. Pam, how are you? We are absolutely good to go. Yes, is this thing on? It's absolutely on. And I'm so glad, by the way, I am so glad that there's a lot of estrogen in this chat on a Wednesday night and not testosterone. I am so glad when the females of the Q crew love to chime in on a Woosah Wednesday edition of On Q. You know why? Because the women in the chat, not only do they bring a little spunk, a little juice, a little cachet, But they bring logic. They bring rationale. They friggin' bring something to the table that few others do. And I love to placate them because that keeps them in my good gracious. Is if SW starts to hum on Friday and that's her plan going forward, I can care less to watch. You might get it. You might get it. The ratings. Reese, my brother from another. What's going on, brother? They will still deny it. Lots of fans right here in the cornfields. Hey, that's where it's got to be. That's where it has to be. Amy, how are you? Good Wednesday evening to you on this Woosah Wednesday. Now, for those that don't know, Woosah Wednesday is where I'm supposed to breathe. And obviously, I was so fired up. I had my script. I didn't even have to AI it. I typed it up old school. And then what happens? I fire off for 30 seconds, and you guys are getting this. And nothing's coming out of my mouth, right? That's horrible. That's horrible. I don't know what the hell's going on, but we fixed it. And that's all that matters. Yeah, my Q crew. Got to keep you guys, you guys got to keep me in line. You got to keep me in check. Mike in Ohio chimes in, Q, I am laughing my ass off. You have to go back and watch the replay. You are just barking. I don't know what the hell went on, but it sounded like you were miming for 25 seconds. Hey, you know what, Mike? Deal with it. Just like you better deal with Caitlin Clark being the face of the league. Let me tell you something that's crazy. Let me tell you something that's really, it's when we really kind of sit back and look at these numbers and kind of slice it and dice it, it's crazy. It's remarkable. And I'm not going to tell you that I didn't see this coming, but I'll say this. The media, the mainstream media tried to tell us what? The league was bigger than one person. They told you the old guard was to draw. Look at the TV ratings right now, and they prove what you and I have been saying all along. She is the face of the W, period. You can talk stats, you can talk what she does on the floor, but it's all about off the floor, off the court, and it's not even friggin' close. The numbers don't lie. The Golden Goose is number 22. You're talking about a league that never had ratings, never had sustainability. Listen, it doesn't mean in some cases she's the league's best player. No one's saying that because right now we can talk MVP, which we have been. Insert said player, whether you think it's going to be Miles, Buckets, Wilson, Mitchell, whatever. The list goes on and on. But clearly, for the haters out there, clearly for the trolls out there, clearly for those that just don't like plain Jane, you better admit, you got to come on. It's not a Man Up Monday. It's a Woosah Wednesday. She is the face of this friggin' league. She is the engine that makes this league go. She is the engine that makes this league go. Period. Stop. Hard stop. Mikatron, what's going on? Happy Wednesday from Vancouver. Oh, okay. Where you at? Vicinity, BC. Very nice. My man Jen chimes in. I'm ready to own the fever. Yeah, how about that? Let's get a last place team and you can jump, right? Think about that, right? Absolutely crazy. And by the way, I think I'm ready to trade Boston, who once again refuses to acknowledge her other teammate. Okay. CC still playing through an insanely bad whistle and had battle scars against the sky. Listen, all that's well and good, man. All is that well and good. And there it is on a Woosah Wednesday. We are 10 minutes in and we give you this. Is this really a discussion? I thought 25 people in sports denied her popularity. Why give them the time? I don't. You want to know why, Paul? Because when we get almost 1,000 chats yesterday and the rats and the whack-a-moles and all the trolls are coming out, because you want me to not give her flowers. So you're basically saying right now, let's deny it. Let's just pretend it doesn't exist. Let's gloss over it. See, I know what you're doing, these little mental mind games. I get it. I know exactly what you're trying to do. Now, will you come on and say she's the face? Is that possible? Can we go down that route? Are you okay with that? I hope you are. I hope you get used to it because the Golden Goose is the Golden Goose. And now everyone that sits there and rips her game apart, shreds her game apart. Well, you know what? I got for you. I do. I got some news for you. If we're really thinking about this and we're really being fair and we're really being objective, this league at this moment better understand exactly what they have in front of them. This league at this moment better start kissing her friggin' ass, because if she decides to bolt, if she decides to go overseas, the ratings will just absolutely, no disrespect to all those poor people that sank on the Titanic, but it'll be worse than, well, I don't want to say worse than the Titanic, but you know what I'm saying. You know exactly what I'm saying. It'll be bad. It'll be absolutely bad. It'll be horrible. This league will cease to exist. And oh, by the way, the whole issue with Bonner and the buyout, it's what about the competitive integrity problem, right? So now the league basically allows an eliminated team to buy out a 17-year vet so she can chase a title. And then a contender immediately signs her. Go figure. Can't make this up. No respect for Bonner or the league allow. I agree with you, Pam. You're 100% correct. It's BS. It's absolutely BS, but this is the league. This is the crap. This is the BS that the league does. You can't do, like, in what world do we live in when you're talking about competitive integrity, right? And you're talking about, imposing postseason deadlines or waiver protections. Not in this league. Not in this league. So let's buy out the vet. She can ring chase. Okay, that's great. Have fun with Atlanta. Go ahead. Go ahead. CC deniers will never. No, they won't. They don't want to admit it. That's the problem, Tina. They don't. And like I said yesterday, what did we try to do? What did we try to do? We sat there and we just tried to, encourage them to be a little more open-minded, right? To just maybe not be so narrow-minded, to look at the whole scoop, which is another reason why I believe when you take all that in consideration and we're really defining what an MVP is, and we're using the word value for that V in the middle, the crux of the argument, I got news for you. She's the MVP then. She's the MVP. And we weren't going to have that discussion, Paul. You know why we weren't going to have that discussion? Because it doesn't matter. You would have nitpicked and you would have claimed another player, the face of the league. Unadulterated chimes in. What's up, brother? CC is the face. Legion is undefeated. I hope that lady from earlier today can get a good night's sleep. You took my first statement and completely hijacked what I was saying. Now it's mind games. I know it. I know what you're trying to do. Paul, lighten up. It's a Wednesday. No other sports league is ran like this league. No. And they're dealing with so much other stuff. In light of all the wonderful ratings that Caitlin Clark has attributed to the league and given a league, and all the merchandise and the sales and the money and all the other wonderful things that number 22 does. We also learn the whole Cantor situation, which is unfolding right before our eyes. Like, this is why you need, at this moment, at this junction, knowing what these numbers are and the ratings that came out. If you are Adam Silver at the end of the season, and you hope you get a nice little playoff run with these teams. You hope it's competitive because the matchups are there. They are set right now. If they were to begin, you break it down pretty simple. Minnesota, Dallas, Golden State, Washington, the Aces, New York, Atlanta, and Indiana. Here we go. Angel Reese, Caitlin Clark, right? 4 or 5. Those are the seedings as if, right? That's what they would look like if the playoffs started today. But knowing that these numbers are ridiculously gaudy, that they're unbelievable, this is, I think right now, if they embraced it, if they understood what they truly, really had, and I think to understand and embrace what you really have means to get rid of the commissioner, and bring in someone else. And I'll get to that in a second. The league is just a front for players and league activism. They want Clark to push the sisterhood agenda and are quite upset she doesn't. I don't think that's it, Billy. I think they want her to act a certain way and say certain things, but she's not going to do that. Here we go. Talking real ball, got to push back with me on a Wednesday. Well, Q, in all respect, not one player is above the league in any sport. I don't think she'll leave the league, but if she does, the league will continue to move forward. It won't. Now, that she and you guys might not want to hear this, and I'm going to say it, and I only had a couple cups of, fresh roasted coffee. So don't get on me. It's a little late. I already cut an NFL show earlier today. Got my miles in, got my sparring in, got the training in, played with Kiki, did other side work, did my Destin FM stuff, cut a lot of audio. I might be a little loopy. I might be a little punch drunk on fresh roasted coffee. But I'm telling you right now, this Caitlin Clark effect, it's just up there, just like with Michael Jordan. When you talk about from a business, marketing, and branding sense. There's no other player that we've seen like this. In fact, I might even say right now, and this might be outlandish to some, and you guys can push back all you want. I'm actually confident in saying at this point, not only is she the face of the league, but I believe she's the face of sports in the U.S. I really do. I really do. She is now beyond a recognizable face. She is such a cash cow that you really can't even put value to what she's worth, to what she brings to the table. Jordan had that it factor, right? Jordan had that it factor. We know that. Jordan comes in. Jordan wasn't as popular coming out of college as Caitlin Clark was. But again, after he goes through some of those injuries, scores 63 against Boston, you got the Air Jordans the night the dunk contest, then all of a sudden, he became MJ. He became MJ. But I'm telling you, man, if you really take a step back and you from a bird's eye view and just the whole package, the value of what she's worth on the court and off the court, I'm telling you, she might be not only the most recognizable, but she might be the face of sports right now in this country. Because there's no other, name me one other athlete right now in this country that is constantly under the microscope, that is constantly scrutinized, that is constantly in the spotlight, but again, is all over the place because of what she's doing from a marketing, branding, and rating standpoint. There's no other athlete currently right now. There isn't. There isn't. And I'm sorry for some of you out there, the old school, not even the woke, but the good old boys network that hate the fact that I'm saying it because she happens to be a woman. Get over your friggin' self. You're friggin' insecure, number one, and you're jealous because she's making more money in all of our lifetimes friggin' combined. So don't be disingenuous. But yeah, I'm confident in saying that. And you guys might think I'm loopy. The numbers, you have no idea how to put value on what she brings to the table. You have no idea. Some of you really do not understand how much she brings to the table. And these endorsement deals, you've got one player single-handedly increasing salaries for the league, broadcasting rights, major monster deals, 11-year deals, monster deals. You're going to tell me that she's not bigger than the league? The freak she isn't. She is. She is the league. This old argument, no one's bigger than the league, it's not applicable in this situation. It doesn't apply with this league. It doesn't. You want to tell me the NFL, you want to tell me the NBA, but when your numbers are rivaling what the NBA does, when you're selling out arenas on the road and merchandise, it's something we already knew. But for the naysayers and the doubters out there and the trolls and the haters, we needed those numbers to be validated, and we got them today. We got the numbers validated today. I mean, it's clear as day. I don't know how in the world we you can't quantify it. You can't. The viewership, the numbers, it's right there. Seriously, check right there. It's right there. It's for your eyes, man. You talk about all the millions, the eyeballs, left, right, all over the place. WNBA media rights, Amazon Prime, set a record Indiana Fever games. 1.07 million, according to Sports Media Watch. That's the most watched WNBA game ever measured on Prime Video, surpassing the Aces and Fever 2 weeks ago at just under a million. 948. 948,000. So again, point is this. You've got to really understand what you have here, and it goes beyond the game. She is bigger than the league. In fact, she is the league. She is the league. And I'm telling you, you guys might think I'm loopy. That's fine. But I believe right now, not only is she the face of this league, but she is the face of sports in this country. There's no other athlete that we talk about on a daily basis as much as Caitlin Clark. There's no other athlete that everyone looks to have a stance on what? Politics, race, religion, activism, socialism, the game itself than Caitlin Clark. There's no other athlete. And oh, by the way, she's only 24. She's only 24. And you guys, some don't want to admit it. It ain't Angel Reese. It's not Wilson. It's not Miles. It's not Mitchell. It's not Kyer. It's not Young. It's not Mahomes. It's not Stafford. It's not May. It's not Goff. It's not Hurts. It's not Brunson. It's not SGA. It's not. It's not Wemby. It's a girl who's playing in the WNBA from Middle America. It's Caitlin Clark. No other athlete has this type of impact. It's starting to now go on the what Tiger did when he started to pick up a golf club. It's unheard of, the numbers, and you think it's because of these teams. No, it's because of her. That is a crazy stat. That is a crazy stat. 3.1 million viewership, inaugural game in 1997. It's just time. It's got to be embraced. Now, it's a different story, man. You're talking about 30 years ago. You're talking about 30 years ago. The NBA always been strong. It's not like this league, but the value has gone up exponentially. I understand what you're saying, and I appreciate that, Paul, but this is different because they had bona fide other stars that can carry the league. Yes, this league doesn't. They have very good players, but they don't have someone like her from the marketing value, the marketing branding value. She is 100%, and this shows again, absolutely just a narrow-minded cluelessness. Leave it up to Jay Hoover-Sugar. No matter how desperate Clarkies will be and using the low standards of popularity, not the face of the league. You, my friend, are such an unadulterated friggin' troll and a hater. So tell me, who's the face of the friggin' league? I'll ask you that right now. Let me guess. Is it Angel Reese with her fraud rebounding record? Is it Miles, who got shut down and whined, bitch, and complained because they D'd her up? They D'd her little hiney up for the first time? So who is it? Who is it? You can't stand the fact that I'm 100% accurate. You can't stand the... Yeah, Shador Sanders trying to beat out Deshaun Watson, right, Michael? CC, the face of the league. I mean, it's amazing. It is so amazing. The little trolls that do a little whack-a-mole that come out on a friggin' Wednesday night. She's the face of the friggin' league, and I believe she's the face of sports right now. The revenue, the merchandise, the markability, the dollars, the ratings. Name me right now. Name me another athlete doing that. And oh, by the way, for the goofballs that think she's not, I mean, you sound like Jamel Hill, who's a jackass friggin' clown. Okay? She's a jackass hater. Name me then the face of the league in your world. You know, let's, you know, again, I'm curious. I want to know. I just love when people they can't stand when others thrive. And obviously, there is this bias against Caitlin Clark. So you come on, you make your little troll thing, and here we go. And here we go. I'm telling you right now, you think it might be too much coffee? Some of you guys suggested there's more in my coffee. No, it's coffee. Too much coffee, my friend. We span out to all sports. Otani? No. No, it's not Otani. It's not. It's her. It's her. She is the face. She is the face. Period. And by the way, don't get it twisted. I'm talking about what she's doing on the floor and off the floor, off the court. That drives revenue. Do you not get it? It's business 101. The ratings, the marketing, the dollars, the merchandise. So for those that want to push back with me, you take her off the Fever today. Are they selling out? No. Take her off the Fever today. Are the Fever on TV 10 to 12 times on national TV? No. Take her off the Fever today. Are they selling merchandise? Are they selling dirt? No. Do you see where I'm going with this? So all of a sudden, the value of the franchise exponentially drops. You don't want to admit, most of you, that there's not a Olivia, and it's not even a Clarkie or whatever the hell you call it. It's just being honest and real. There's no other athlete in sport right now where you can sit there and say it's the blank blank effect. There's no Patrick Mahomes effect. There's no Otani effect. There's no Jalen Brunson effect. There's no Mitchell effect, Olivia Miles effect, Wilson effect, Angel Reese effect. No, no, no. You're 0 for 16. But there is a Caitlin Clark effect. Not only on revenue, attendance, ticket sales, merchandise. Think about this. Because of her, yeah, sorry, hate to break it, the Golden Goose, number 22, because of her, attendance has gone up. Overall, league averages, nearly 50%. The game she plays in draws ridiculous crowds. So all you're doing is just being ignorant and disingenuous. That's all. That's all you're doing. And again, you take her out of this league, the league will suffer. And the league didn't, I'm sorry, with all due respect to the league, 30 years, I'm telling you right now, this league didn't even achieve half of what they're achieving because of her. And now this new flux of talent. Face, absolutely. 25 years. Listen, the coffee is black. The coffee is black today, man. It's black. I put a little sugar in it. What'd you put in the coffee? CC is the WNBA. What Connor was to UFC. She brought a new fan base to a small sport. It's like a penny stock, 5 times worth more. Not life. Oh, come on. Stop. Now who's being goofy? Seriously. Stop. Stop. Now who's being goofy? How do you deny? You don't want to admit it. I feel like we have to have an intervention. She has delivered record ratings that the league hasn't seen in 29 friggin' years. Hasn't seen in 29 years, but the league survived 25 years ago. Get out of here with that nonsense. 3.3 million across NBC and Peacock. NBC announced today. The broadcast peaked at 3.82 million, became the most watched WNBA regular season game since 97. So let me do my liberal arts math. Shout out to York College, YCP, 88.1 radio. That's 97.3, what, 30 years ago? It ranks third among all regular season WNBA broadcasts. Do you know 12 of the highest rated games this year all featured who? Indiana. Which featured who? Or whom? Caitlin Clark. I mean, come on, man. Just stop. Man, you guys can't stand. You cannot stand when we try to give love where love is needed. I'm telling you, I'm trying. I am trying to put them to bed tonight on a Wednesday. Get up, my darling. I am trying. It's a hell of a handle, by the way. That is a great, great, great handle, by the way. Newman chimes in with the little trolley. All right, we got you. You like to kind of peek your little head out like a friggin' whack-a-mole. That's okay. What do we got here? Bob says UFC was progressively getting bigger. But I mean, yeah. I mean, listen, for someone that's covered the fight game and combat sports for the last 20 years, stop. I'm not saying you stop, Bob. What I'm saying is no. Trust me, there were great MMA mixed martial artists prior to Conor. Conor was the boost, the bang, right? And that burned out pretty fast. I don't see that happening with Caitlin Clark. I don't. But like I said, some of you don't want to go there. You don't want to go there. You don't want to see it. You just don't. But I'm telling you, it's okay. Like, there is enough, like I said, I know what some of you do because you've been hanging on the channel for a while now. We understand at this point why some of you, most of you, who don't like Caitlin Clark, don't like Caitlin Clark. Now, do we want to get into the elephant in the room? But I friggin' bet you penny to dollars to donuts, if it was Mitchell, Reese, Wilson, Miles, maybe you're not going to push back as much. But because it's Caitlin Clark, who, again, doesn't have that appeal that you guys want, doesn't look the part, doesn't play the part, doesn't sound the part. This is the problem I have with Jemele Hill. This is the problem I have about people when they say it's not about race. The hell it isn't. This league is so friggin' divided. So now you've got the Middle America, you've got the pale girl from Middle America, the little white girl that can friggin' ball out and play, breaking friggin' records left and right, and going about it the right way, selling shoes and sneakers and merchandise and doing all these endorsements and State Farm and all these other little outside little entities she has in the business world and the business acumen and the markability and the branding. And she's helping the league go to heights it's never seen. That bothers people. That triggers people. It triggers people because she doesn't look the way they want her to look. She doesn't sound the way they want her to sound. It bothers them. It bothers them. And it's okay. This is a safe place. We're not going to judge, but we know where you're coming from. We know where you're coming from. Finally, someone is saying it and sees it. I've always said it and I see it. I've always said it and I've been seeing it. It's clear as day. Yeah, because he can't beat out Deshaun Watson. He stinks. And because his father goes to practice. Come on, Michael. CC is not more popular than Mahomes. Stop it, Q. I'm telling you right now, follow along with me. Do you not understand? Seriously, I want you to really think for a second. And I say this with all due respect. Okay? If you put 1,000 WNBA fans and little kids and little girls in a venue, not boys, but little girls and families with little girls, okay? And you have Patrick Mahomes and you've got Caitlin Clark, they'll know Patrick Mahomes is probably an athlete, but they're going to gravitate towards Clark. They're going to want her autograph. They're going to want her jersey. That's the impact. So I know what you're trying to say, but you have to really, really kind of just take a step back and just understand where I'm going with this. Okay? Understand where I'm going with this. You might think this is a bang for the buck, and it's like a, would you say, McGregor, which again, flash in the pan, had his run. It's not. There's sustainability. The league needs to understand this. The league needs to embrace this. Okay? I'm talking about the face of the friggin' league. Don't get it twisted. I'm not talking about the MVP conversation. I'm not talking about stats or threes or logos or turnovers or dimes or assists or double-doubles or rebounds or triple-doubles or 45 and 10. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about a generational talent who just so happens to be the face of the league because the ratings show that. The ratings prove it. It's tangible. You cannot argue eyeballs from Nielsen ratings. It's not skewed. You cannot argue the streaming numbers. They're not skewed. But you guys, just like yesterday with the MVP conversation, you want to keep pushing back the goalpost. That is a major problem, especially with the mainstream media. You want to keep pushing back the goalpost because you'll figure out a way and say, nah, I'm not going to compare her to Mahomes and Ohtani. I'm not going to compare her to baseball and NFL. What I'm saying is no athlete right now, not sport for sport, but no athlete right now at this moment is talked about, debated about, criticized all the time, hated on, constantly under the microscope What's she going to do next? How come she doesn't speak? How come she doesn't talk? What is she going to do next? Is she going to have another record? Is she going to keep breaking records? Is she truly an MVP? Other than Caitlin Clark, there's no other athlete right now in this country that is polarizing and captivating. And sorry, I'm not talking about a 4th-round draft pick in the friggin' NFL anymore who's going to be a backup quarterback than her. It's factual. It's factual. Don't confuse being the face of something and you want to throw stats in my face tonight, because it's not about the stats. No disrespect to the Wilsons, the Miles, the Buckets, the Mitchells of the world, but how many fans, if they're playing Indiana, are saying, oh, I can't wait to go see X, Y, and Z? They're not. They're saying, I can't wait to see number 22. You guys don't want to see it. Or you just don't want to admit it, but that's okay. It's like any other conversation in the world of sports, man. It's okay. I'm telling you, it's not about value. Let me correct you right here, Newman, because I appreciate you taking the time to tune in and comment. She is more valuable in Ohtani because look at what she's done for this league. Think about it. It's different in baseball, man. And the salaries and the CBA and the players union. She is much bigger than Ohtani. I'm talking about the value she brings to the league. If you take her off of this league, if you take her out of the Fever organization, the revenue goes down dramatically. The value of the franchise goes down dramatically. Don't get it twisted. You guys, with respect, you're being too narrow-minded. You're not thinking outside the box. If she leaves the Fever, if they don't re-sign her, if she's traded, if she walks, it's crickets in that arena. It's crickets. You're not getting the little 10, 11, 12-year-old kids, the family of 4, the family of 6. You're not getting the grandmas. You're not getting that. You're not getting this team on national TV 12, 13, 14, 15 times. You're not getting jerseys sold that are going like hotcakes. That is an effect. That is a marketing, branding, and revenue effect. That is the golden goose. That is the face of the league. That is Caitlin Clark. Don't let the mainstream media, okay? Don't let the mainstream media tell you different. Yes, there's popularity in baseball players. Yes, there's popularity in Ohtani. Yes, there's popularity in Mahomes. Yes, there's popularity when they go play overseas in Europe. But I'm telling you right now, the most recognizable sports face in this country is Caitlin Clark. It's Caitlin Clark, and I stand by that. I stand by that. And I've backed it up. The numbers don't lie. Don't mix the two. Don't start bringing in the stats. Do you not understand? If Patrick Mahomes gets traded, or Patrick Mahomes is a free agent, and Patrick Mahomes plays for another team, I'm sure someone will be a Kansas City Chiefs fan and see what he's doing. Saquon Barkley. The Giant fans were so up in arms. I didn't give a shit. I was pissed that he went to the Eagles, a rival, but I was like, okay, whatever. I wasn't really following Saquon. If Caitlin Clark or Wemby or Brunson or SGA or LeBron, at this point, if Caitlin Clark goes to another team, I hate to break it down for you, and I hate to say it like this, they're not following that team anymore. Do you not get it? They are now going to become a fan of insert team. If she plays for LA, all those fans, yeah, Indiana, but now I'm an LA fan. Why? Because she's donning the jersey. They've got our girl. You cannot put a price tag on that. You can't. You cannot put a price tag on it. And like I said, you guys can sit there and, you're comparing Bird and Magic is just foolish. You're not getting what I'm saying because you don't want to, because you're not being open-minded. You don't have to agree with me, but my God, hear me out. If the numbers are what they are, if the ratings are what they are, and everyone knows it's contributed to one person, don't give me the NBA in the 80s. With 2 players, by the way, not 1, 2. So for those that are arguing Bird and Magic brought back the NBA, that's two. You've got one lifting up a friggin' league from a rating standpoint that hasn't sniffed millions of viewers in 30-something odd years. So now you're proving my argument even more. You're proving my case even more. This is about now you're just being disingenuous. And oh, by the way, those numbers, I pulled them up. The numbers don't lie. They actually did better than, what was it? The NBA Cup. Some of the numbers. They're crazy. They're revealing. They're beyond telling. They're freaking, it's ridiculous what she's doing and these ratings. You're talking about the NBA that gets millions and you get 3.7 for a regular season final. The NBA did for Prime or the Commissioner Cup, which was 1.7 million. The Wings and the Fever, that's the most ever on Prime. She's the league. She's the cash cow. Let's just move on. You can hate all you want. You can be jealous all you want. I'm not talking about talent on the floor. Forget the stats. Forget about the numbers on the floor. Talk about the ratings, the growth of the league, the popularity of the league. It's because of her. You know why these players are so pissed off and jealous and petty? Because when she goes to Visitors Arena, guess what? They don't want the autograph of the host team. They want her autograph. They want her to sign the jersey. When she played at Iowa and you played South Carolina, that final, it did better than the men's that year. The league, the W knows what they have. And they damn well be better, smart enough, to understand that when you have these numbers, 1.4 million a non-Clark Fever game, 2.6 when she plays. You can't deny what your eyes are telling you. But you want to deny it. You want to deny it. This is a good question. If Fever get knocked out of playoffs, how much of a decrease in viewership? That's a great question. I can't answer that. It's a great question. It's like the NBA. The NBA won it, the market. They wanted that series between San Antonio and the Knicks to go long because you're talking about a major market in the Knicks. You're talking about a young San Antonio team with, again, you can say a star in Wemby, but the Knicks didn't win a championship prior to since 73. That's one of the top markets in the world. The reason the officiating was so bad, that they wanted to stretch that game out to 6-7. And the Knicks decided in 5, here we go. Now, would the ratings even been more? Probably, because the series goes on. I can't answer that. I can't speak to that. But I know this. For as long as they're in the playoffs, people are going to watch. And to your point too, Monica, if the numbers drop exponentially, then that justifies everything we're saying. Do they not? Follow the money. There's a reason networks want to air Fever games, big money. TG, what's going on, brother? TG was chiming in on the NFL talk. NBA supported the league, still is. Yes, they did all the heavy lifting. Yeah, they did all the heavy lifting. Listen, you can throw players at me all you want. I'm not budging, man. It's all about the dollars. That's it. It's all about the dollars. I got news for you. If Ohtani plays for another team, well, he's already doing that, right? When he's now with the Dodgers. Hey, man, people might kind of glance to see what he's doing, but they're not going to follow. They're going to do that with Caitlin Clark. Okay? And the problem is that a lot of these young players are so jealous. Jealous. Oh, Shohei Ohtani plays in baseball. I don't know if you're joking there or not, to be quite honest with you. I really don't know. Love CC game. She can ball, just not down with all the worship and having to tear down other players. Who's tearing them down? Who's tearing them down? Kind of give credit where credit is due. Wilson's going to be the MVP. Mitchell's a great scorer. Miles is a brilliant rookie, right? Reese had her rebounding, double-double machine, whatever. Padded stats like Becker's the other day. It's not tearing them down. I've never come on these airwaves ever and said a player was garbage or trash. I've never said that. It's not about tearing down. It's about recognizing and acknowledging the one player that everyone seems to can't stand. And the players can't stand. The head coach can't stand. The commissioner can't stand. She is the one driving the league. She is the engine. That's my point. Without her, you're not getting this conversation. You're not getting this banter, this back and forth. We're not talking about this league. No one's giving a shit about the league. They're not. You might get casuals, and they're still going to follow a little bit. But now the eyeballs, they're magnified. It's like someone used a penny stock, the 5 to 10 timer, right? The 10 bagger. Now you take these eyeballs 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 years ago, nothing. Now, what are they doing? What is she doing? She's bringing eyeballs to the table. She's making this a watchable product. She's making the game more enjoyable. It's appealing to maybe some of those casuals that were on the fence about being turned on to the WNBA or the fence about the product. Now you got this kid over the last several years taking league by storm. The league was not prepared for it. This is not about dismissing other players who are very good in their own right, but this is acknowledging what a lot of us have been saying that the mainstream media keeps pushing back on from day one, that the league is bigger than her. No player is bigger than the league. Well, I've got news for you, my friends. The numbers say different. The ratings say different. The revenue says different. The broadcasting rights says different. The new CBA says different. The value of these franchises going up says different. That's all. And I don't understand where, people still, I would love to just really understand from some of you why you just want to either dismiss it or you just don't like her. Like, what is it about her that a lot of you want to troll and heckle and comment in that you don't like? And I've said this, and it makes people uncomfortable. I believe I know why. And I've said it on the air. And if it turns people off, it turns people off. But this is when you start to bring the element of race, which I don't really want to discuss, but it's very pronounced. Like, we can tell who pushes what players in the chat. We can tell where your allegiance is, and that's okay. But we can also tell your line of thinking in life in general by how you comment. What you say, your tone, how you say it. So the question is, what's the hate all about? What's the hate all about? What has she done that rubs people the wrong way where you still can't even come on the friggin' air today in the chat and admit she's the face of the league? And I took it a step further, which maybe bothered you. I believe she's the face of sports right now. See, you guys need to do a much deeper dive into the value that she brings, because at the end of the day, what does this country thrive on? It's all about the almighty dollar. That's all it is. It's about the almighty dollar. Do you know how many impressions that team gets because of her on social media, which is still driving traffic? I just can't. I feel as though I can't quantify it enough or convey it enough to you guys that if you took her off this team and this league, they would suffer greatly, immensely. Maybe you don't like women. I don't know. Maybe you just don't like her. I don't know. Maybe you don't like the sport. Maybe you don't like female sports. I don't know. But if you took her off this team, that franchise wets the bed. If you take her out of this league, the league suffers greatly. I've had so many people hit me up and they're like, yeah, you know what? She ain't playing. I ain't watching. She ain't playing. I'm not watching. Okay, that's fine. And I think the smart fan or the astute basketball fan can appreciate what she does, just like you can appreciate other players that play in this league, but they do not have the cachet that she does. If you watch these pre and post, who are the fans waiting for? Who are the kids waiting for? They're waiting for her. They're waiting to get her autograph. They're waiting for her to finish her post-game interview in droves. And fans love her. Some other teams, different markets, maybe they don't. Maybe it is a jealousy thing. Maybe they don't want to see her succeed. Maybe they don't want to see her get any shine. And I think a lot of you, it trickles down to how you view the game and the pushback. when you start to bring up silly, stupid narratives about what she does or doesn't do on the floor. The numbers speak for themselves. No other league is structured and mismanaged like this league. I think we can all agree. The NFL, we'd never have this discussion. NBA, we've never had this discussion. Major League Baseball, we would never have this discussion. But because the WNBA is a shit show, it's a circus, and you need something to hang your hat on. You need the face, and you have one person pulling all the weight. No disrespect to the other players before, but there is no insert player effect. There is a Caitlin Clark effect. And my concern would be this. The league is so behind. They're so behind with this. They are absolutely so behind. Yeah, she is the most popular friggin' athlete in sport. Paul, do you want me to friggin' spell it out for you? I'm not pushing a goalpost. I'll say it again for the friggin' record. For those in the cheap seats. Right now, she's the face of the league, and she is the face in all sports in this friggin' country. I'm on the record for saying it. Bookmark the friggin' take. 8:52 on a friggin' Wednesday. Yeah, she's more popular than Ohtani. She's more popular than Mahomes. She's more popular than Wemby. She's more popular than Brunson. Insert player. Yes. Yep. Do you want me to go through the merchandise sales? Do you want me to go through? I got news for you. When Patrick Mahomes went down, did friggin' people still go to Chiefs games? Yes. If Wemby's out, did people still go and watch or still go to San Antonio games? Yes. If Brunson's not playing, people still went to MSG. You take her off the friggin' floor and out of this league, I got news for you. The numbers are dick. The ratings are down. The merchandise, it's not moving. Get out of here with your nonsense and crap tonight. You're just a friggin' hater. You don't want to give her any credit whatsoever. The short time that some of you guys been jumping on, I already know where you think. I already know where you're thinking. With all due respect, some of you got your head up your ass. Seriously. Some of you do. You don't want to see it. You don't want to admit it. You don't like the way she friggin' looks. Okay. So God forbid you're going to wait for Friday night and she struggles and you're going to come on Saturday. Oh, she only scored 18 points. So much for the face of the league. Get out of here with your nonsense. Jesus God. And stop with the Shedeur Sanders shit. Go back to school. Do an NIL. It's a fourth-string quarterback. Jen, you know exactly what I'm talking about. There you go. Estimated value is close to $1 billion, according to Forbes and Wells. Yeah, but she's not the face of American sports. It's Ohtani. It's Mahomes. Oh, man. You guys are great. You guys are friggin' fantastic, man. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. The guys are... What do you listen to? Cleveland Talk? Sports Talk? What the hell are they supposed to talk about? They're pissed off that Watson got the gig. You better be careful if you're a Browns fan because he might go follow York from the 49ers. I'm just saying. I am just saying. Bob says if CeCe leaves the league, goes back to taking a Greyhound bus again. Oh, man, brutal. 3.8 million saw the Fever versus the Sky. Correct, but she's not the face of anything. Right, I got you. I get you. I get you. I get you. I get you. I understand. Yeah. Face of American sports. Face of American sports. And I will not back down from that. Hey, brother, respect your back, man. Agree to disagree. It's all good, man. But don't throw Ohtani at me like that. And I respect your opinions. I do. I honestly do. But I just... It's a Wednesday, man. It's a Woosah Wednesday. I've had 7 cups. Been up since 4:30. Already cut an NFL show earlier today. Did my Destin FM. Got the boxing stuff. Got the overnight. I'm running on fumes today. So I apologize if I'm a little feisty on the air today. Please don't take it personal. But I'm telling you this right now. I got to tell them. I have to. I have to. People don't like change. They don't. It's human. We don't want to give credit. And if you hear chewing in the background, Kiki's just chewing stuff. She gets worried when I get all bent out of shape like this, right? There you go, Pam. There it is. Pam said it last week. Men lie, women lie, numbers don't lie. I think that was after the 45-10 or the 37, right? I'm telling you, I don't care about jerseys. I don't, and by the way, Curry loves Clark. What I care about is the overall numbers, the ratings, the revenue, the branding, the evaluation of franchises. Do you know what that franchise was before she was drafted? You know what that franchise is worth right now? The numbers speak for themselves. You guys, pushy, pushy, pushy. Go ahead. Pushy, pushy, pushy. I'm fine with it. You can do it all you want. She leaves this league. She goes overseas. She leaves the fever. Everyone suffers except her. Everyone suffers except her. It's amazing. You have to look at some of these numbers if you really are being honest. They're incredible. They're absolutely incredible how one player can drive the traffic. And everyone, see, the other thing is this. This is why the league, all jokes aside, this is why the league should really value what they have. They should. Because everyone can benefit from this, if that makes sense. If you know for a fact that you've got something good in front of you, okay? And the numbers speak for themselves, and salaries have gone up, and you've worked the CBA, and the players are benefiting from this. Why do they treat her as poorly as they do? They need to placate a little bit. I'm not going to suggest throwing out a favorable whistle because we know she doesn't get the calls. We know that. But man, if I'm a player and I'm looking around, I'm saying, hey man, thank you. I put in my time, but part of you, because of you, salaries have gone up exponentially. They've gone up exponentially, and we don't want to do that. No, it would not. It would not. You're still watching a friggin' sport. I got news for you. Go ask a Phillies fan if they give a shit about Ohtani. No, they're more concerned about Schwarber and Harper. I'm telling you right now, if Ohtani left, yeah, people are still going to watch friggin' baseball. They're going to watch baseball. They are. It's not changing. They're going to watch baseball. Go talk to me right now how MLB ratings are doing. And then talk to me about if you take her off the fever. Here's the difference. Baseball is still going to have the Dodgers playing on Sunday night because it's a major market and they're the Dodgers. Even if Ohtani's not playing, people are going to watch. If you took her off the fever, I'm sorry. They're not going to watch. I hate to break it to you. Those are facts. Who said in the chat they're going to draw 1,000, 2,000, 3,000? Yeah. They're not going to draw. They are not going to draw. They're not. Kids are not going to want to go to the game. Why? Because they're not going to get a chance for an autograph. They're not going to want the merchandise. They're not going to want a game day brochure. They're not going to want a pamphlet, a program. They're not. They're absolutely not. They're not. I'm telling you, if you guys want to dispute me, dispute me. If you want to debate me, debate me. But if you're sitting there saying she's not the face of the freaking league, I got news for you. Who is? And so Paul knows, so I'm just being totally transparent. She's also, in my opinion, the face of sports in this country. She's that polarizing. She is that polarizing. She is a lightning rod, and she's not even trying to be one. She is a lightning rod. So funny, the CC hate. They just can't admit. They won't do it, man. They just, DB. I hope, by the way, DB, I hope everything went well today, brother. They won't admit it. They get so triggered by Caitlin Clark. It bothers them. This is what I'm saying. The same freaking clowns that want her to watch the game on Friday. And I'm going to come on Saturday before I call the fights. I'll come on because this is what I do. But you're waiting for her to have a bad game So then you could come on and you could throw the stats and all the narratives and then, yeah, so much for your face of the franchise, face of the league. No, 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 no. Mark it down again. 9:01 Eastern time. She's not only the face of the W, she's the face of American sports right now. Deal with it. And I'm sorry for the men out there, that don't like women to be in power. I got news for you. Nothing wrong with that, brother. So you better just get over your friggin' self. You better get over yourself. Money always talks. They can't, Billy. Billy, I threw the question out. They won't do it. They won't. I ask a simple question and they can't answer. You know why? Because it bothers them. I feel as though on a Wednesday edition of On Q, on a Woosah Wednesday, Billy and the gang and the Q crew and the chat, love you all. I feel as though I have to put some people on the sofa, and I don't want to do that. I'm not going to charge you for therapy, but if you need me to just kind of placate you a little bit, I don't know, maybe you weren't hugged enough. I don't know. Were you the last one picked on the playground? I don't know. They kick you out of the sandlot? Did somebody steal your lunch money? What is the problem? I asked a very simple question, and I'm not getting an answer. If you guys push back and want to troll and say she's not the face of the league, then please, I implore you, educate me. Tell me who's the face of the league. In fact, tell me who's the face of American sports. I'll sit here and I'll wait. This is me waiting. Let's see. Rich is on point because it's hard for someone to watch a league change from what it was. Bingo. Because of the old guard. Because of the old guard. You can be bigger than a league. In the WNBA, it's very feasible. It's possible. And yes, she is bigger than the league. I know the old guard, the old head, the old man on the porch. I get it. Some of you guys don't want to talk about it, right? Some of you you don't want to admit it. It's okay. But times are changing. Times are absolutely changing. And again, we got to accept that. People don't, we're not open to change. We like things the way they are. But life is short, man. You got to experience different things. You got to also be open to certain things. So for those that, and I know you because I read the chats, I read the comments after I post the videos. Some of you can't get past the race issue. It bothers you that you've got the middle America plain Jane balling it out and doing what she does. And that's your insecurity, man. Like, I can't help you with that. That's your line of thinking. That's your line of thinking. But I always make a point to say this on the air because you always get some of the goofballs out there that love to, stir the pot. The shit stirs. If another player had the impact that she had, if another player that looked different, that was blue, yellow, black, green, brown, whatever, was doing what she does and has the impact that she has, I got news for you, folks. My opinion would be that person. Insert that person. I'm looking at the whole picture. But for some, and this is the danger now with the mainstream media, this is the danger when you listen to other hosts or other channels or you go on TV and you watch different outlets. This is the danger part when you've got the Jamel Hills and you've got the other clown that says she was not even the 11th best guard in the league. When you got the Monica McNuts, when you got the Cindy, when you got even the Sue Bird that sits there after 37 and 10 while she had 5 assists. This is dangerous now. This is dangerous because what happens is you start believing what you hear. Okay? You start believing what you see because what they're telling you to believe. That is a problem. That is a problem. All I can tell you is what I believe, what I see, what I feel, and my opinion. The ratings back it up. So you can't come on today and say, well, she really didn't have anything to do. The hell she didn't. Dead on tonight, Q. You drink an espresso blend, fresh roasted, extra coffee. Know somebody has a coffee house, they buy it. Oh, 5 and 6 bags. There you go. Use the promo code 20%. 20% off. Use that promo code on Q20. I'll put it in the show notes. Apparently, it is not. People rather go hungry than admit CC is the face of the league. It's pure hate. The word itself is sin without probable cause. There is hate. There is definitely hate. Yeah, I mean, here's your troll. There it is. Have fun with that one, folks. We know exactly where Mr. Sugar thinks. Clark also does things on the court. Got a few other WNBA players can do. Listen, the league has talent. The league has talent, but we kind of know. And I don't care what cards sell for merchandise. That's not, again, let me break it down. What? I can't even read some of these comments with you guys. I can't even take you serious. Stop. Wait, WNBA TV ratings are dismal? Ah, there it is. There's the jackass. There's the clown. There's the troll. WNBA TV ratings are dismal. Dude, get back under that friggin' rock. Go away. Get out of here. I should have just made subscription-based only comments for those that subscribe. Get out of here with the nonsense. What are you doing? Don't embarrass yourself on a Wednesday. Right. I got you. They dwarf some NBA games. Yeah, I got you. They're dismal. There it is. There's the pay troll. I mean, I don't know. Did he pay for a super chat? Try to get your money's worth, right? Before you get out of here. Hey, listen, you can have favorite players, but they're not bringing in the eyeballs like she is. That is just my point. That is it. That is all I'm saying. And everyone can have favorites. Everyone can have favorites. Look, like who you like. Support who you support. No one's going to take that away from you. As a fan, that's your freaking right. You've earned that right. If you like a player and you believe a player is better than another player, we can have that debate. But where we can't debate, there's really no room for an argument tonight, is when you talk about the ratings and who directly influence those ratings, who has directly taken this league to another level. I don't know if you guys need to just like Google it, do your own research, but it's right there. And if you guys are the type of people that I tell you 2 + 2 is 4 and you'll scream that it's 5. Well, if that's what you think, if that makes you sleep better at night, have at it. Go ahead. I'm not going to waste my time arguing with you anymore. The ratings, the numbers don't lie. There is a CC effect. And if this league actually embraced it and understood it and treated her better and pushed her more, this is the perfect time for the commissioner to come out and say, we are proud that we have a face in Caitlin, but she won't do that. She will not do that. So when you're talking about 105% higher when she plays in attendance, who the hell does that? Not Ohtani, not LeBron, not Mahomes, not Wemby, not Brunson. That figure is utterly ridiculous. That is unheard of. So, and on the road? On the road, you're selling out venues. Buckets was pissed off the other day because they're walking off the floor. And the kids are waiting for Caitlin Clark to sign an autograph. Not in Indiana, but on the road. I'm telling you, man, she is a special, special player. And she is a special, special golden goose. And again, cash cow. Again, don't get it twisted. I'm not talking about on the floor. We're talking about the whole impact. We can debate the merits of our game, the MVP conversation, playoffs right around the corner. That's fine. That's fine. And I think Monica asked, what happens if they get bounced early? What are ratings going to be? I don't know. If ratings were still determined on whether show was on TV or not, WNBA, did you pay to come on the chat? You bot? What's going on? What's the handle? Fish? Yeah, a little fish stick? Should be sleeping with the fishes. What are you talking about? I get it. You don't watch. That's fine. All you have to do is look at the viewership, which has gone up 50%. Yeah, again, I knew tonight was going to be a little chippy. I did. I knew it was going to be a little chippy. I get it. I knew it was going to be a little, I mean, we got the trolls are coming out. There it is. And I love it because you know what you're doing. You're giving me eyeballs. But do me a favor, though. If you want to contribute to the show, you want to hit the super chat, go ahead. Michael chimes in. Tell like it is on this woosah. I'm trying to, Michael. I know Bronco ball. Let's go. I'm trying to, man. I'm trying to. I don't know what to tell him. You know what? I'm actually now all of a sudden, you're almost starting to endear yourself to me because you're trolling. If they televise curling in USA, that would get better ratings than the WNBA. All right, that's not bad. I'll give you that one. You see the scratches on her. They do not call the game properly for her. They don't. They just don't. They don't. And I'm hoping it changes. But you and I both know it's not, right? It's not. My granddaughter has assigned basketball. CC surprised her basketball team at wow in Iowa City. She popped in, talked to her team, told her to hold on to CC. Was a senior at Iowa. Wow, that's pretty awesome. She's got that effect. I don't. Jersey says I already know about the merchandise in the WNBA, Paul. Listen, you keep pushing the goalpost to fit your script and the narrative. She is the most popular player. She's the most popular athlete right now in American sports. Deal with it. That's my opinion. If you don't like it, get the hell out of the chat on a friggin' Wednesday. I'm not changing my mind. And God friggin' forbid, and I'm speaking to the little rats in the chat, and you know who you are. The little whack-a-moles. You know who you are. God forbid if she ever won an MVP or this team wins a championship. Insufferable. Absolutely insufferable. As you say, the Clarkies are going to be. I'll just sit back and I'll let you guys go back and forth in the chat. I don't have a problem with that. I'll let you go back and forth in the chat. But I still asked a question, and I got one answer. Wilson, the most popular. Come on. Never hated anyone in sports, for example, because of Michael Jordan. See, we're a Knicks fan. There we go. Never won a championship. Praised MJ. Hate is a disease. Yeah, it is. They just hate her. And by the way, you're right. Knicks never got past Jordan. And when Jordan retired, they finally got past the Bulls in a Game 7. Obviously, they lost to the Rockets. I'm a diehard Knicks fan, so trust me, when they won this past season, I shed a little bit of a tear. I was extremely, very happy and excited because I never thought they were going to win a championship in my lifetime. But to your point, you still got to respect Jordan. Hell, Jordan comes out of retirement and he drops 55 against the Knicks, the double nickel game. And remember that last possession, he didn't shoot it. He found Bill Wellington cut into the basket. I remember that game. Clear as day, man. Clear as night. I mean, there are some players you hate, but not like you're saying. Like you hate them because they're always breaking your heart. But you respected them. I couldn't stand Reggie Miller. But I respected his game. To this day, as a Giants fan, friggin' Flipper Anderson made me cry. To this day. And Flipper Anderson, who's the nicest guy in the world, trolls me all the time on social media. Always sending me happy birthday, sends me the little emoji of him running in a tunnel in Giants Stadium. I cried that day. I was pissed off. Absolutely devastated. But again, it's not hate. for some reason, to your point, there is a sediment of the basketball world and athletes, for someone who doesn't watch the NBA, I didn't even know how you knew Cunningham, right? There is a sediment that just can't stand her. And I think we know why. We've documented it why. But here's the thing. All you have to do is this. Remember, she's not going anywhere. And the more they win and the record she puts up and the double-doubles and the triple-doubles and all these numbers, which are ridiculously gaudy, her value goes up exponentially. Exponentially. You've had over 1,000 women play in this league, and only 4 players other than Clark have ever once put up 30 and 10 in a game. 4 players have achieved it once. In 3 abbreviated seasons, she's done it 5 times. The numbers speak for themselves. The talent speaks for itself. Now you are unlocking something that the league never had. Major eyeballs. Major eyeballs. No one was talking about this league the last several years. Because it's such a cluster, it's such a clown show, a shit show, that we're talking about it almost every other day. Today, you're supposed to talk about it from a positive standpoint. That now they've embraced, they understand those ratings are contributed to one player. Yes, the league has talented players. Yes, the league has really good players. Yes, the league has some players that are young, that are going to be in that MVP conversation, that are going to lead their teams to championship, that are going to have tremendous careers. But right now, at this moment, and again, for those in the cheap seats, it's not Wilson's time or Miles' time or Bucket's time or Reese's time. It's Caitlin Clark's time. Like, you got to strike while the iron's hot. You really do. This league, if they really knew what they had, if they played their hand correctly, if they actually pushed this player more, instead, they're pushing some of the most toxic players and dirty players in the league. Some of the most ego-driven players and selfish players in the league. Yet, you got the cash cow. You got the golden goose. What do you do with the golden goose? You love it. You take care of it. You give it love. You're gentle with it. You nurture it. That's not what they're doing. It goes back to when Humperdinck, as you guys might be first timers, I don't call her by her real name, Humperdinck, the commissioner, when she was doing that conference, and she doesn't bring up Caitlin Clark's name, who'd she bring up? She brought up Taurasi. That's the problem with the league. That is the problem with the league. And I'm telling you, man, it's bad. It's absolutely bad. And I believe if they did the right thing, if they pushed and they pushed and they pushed the right player, in this case, Caitlin Clark, I think a lot of the nonsense would precipitate. I think a lot of the nonsense would just kind of vanish. You're still going to get bad officiating. You're still going to get jealous players. But they've got something that they've never had. And they have no idea what to do with it. They have no idea what to do with it. That is a major problem. That's an indictment on the league. That's an indictment on how this league is operated. That is an indictment on the incompetence, the malpractice of this commissioner. How do you not placate? How do you not sit there and say, here we go? We've got a cash cow. We've got the face of the league. And we got to sit there and we got to push, we got to push, we got to push. And listen, you guys can throw other athletes at me. I'm standing by what I said, period. You cannot sit there and give me apples and oranges when you're talking about salaries of a friggin' NBA player that's a Hall of Famer and Caitlin Clark when the league has a cap. And they just had to incorporate an Epic deal. And they had to redo the CBA because of who? You guys are just being goofy. Just stop. Honestly. Just stop. Oh, man. You guys are just... you guys are funny, man. You guys are absolutely funny. Sometimes people just don't want to see what's right in front of them. They just don't. I mean, this again, I don't know what to tell you, man. I think it's phenomenal. I applaud it. And you got to get something positive to come out of what we've been dealing with at this league. You really do. This is not, it's not about other players dismissing them. It's about the growth. And if they actually embraced this player and the fans they're bringing, the league goes to another level. Do you not see that? But instead, they piss on her fans who sometimes act goofy, and they piss on her. That is the problem. You've got a cash cow that can create money hand over fist. Just print money. Just print. But for some reason, they're afraid of it. That doesn't make sense. It just doesn't. That's malpractice at its finest. Who runs a company like that? All those years I've been on the radio, everywhere I've gone in radio, everything I've done in radio, especially on air, no matter what. When I'm selling my show, I'm selling myself, selling the station, selling content, selling programming, selling sports team. All the years I've been on, I've never once had a conversation where you walk into a business and the owner who says, well, we don't need any more business, we're busy. I've never once actually have walked out of that conversation shaking my head like, what? Hold on a second. Who doesn't want to make more money? I always push back. And my reply is, you don't want to make more money? You're too busy? Don't you want to retire? Don't you want to live the American dream? They can make just an obscene amount of money. They can take this next level. Look at all the impressions that team gets on X, on social media, the followers. They can capitalize on it. I mean, you have no idea. You're scratching the surface. You are scratching the surface, but they don't want to do it. The media engagement is ridiculous. There is a report, okay? It's called the Marca Report. A lot of content creators, social media, third parties, they use it. They've highlighted the social media account, when you see Caitlin Clark or hashtag or Indiana Fever. The Indiana Fever, because of Caitlin Clark on social, that team has crossed over 1.53 billion social media impressions. That eclipses the entire rest of the league put together. Do you not, can you quantify that? Do you understand beyond the numbers we're going off the floor? Forget about on the court dominance, talking about off the court. But they, for some reason, they're not sound enough to understand that. I got news for you. Mahomes, Wemby, SGA, LeBron, they're not doing that. They're not. You've got young fans that you can cultivate that talent, those young fans, and you can keep them locked and engaged for the next 15, 20 years. They are going to these games, yes, to watch, but they're going to the games 85, 90, 95% to see her, to get her to sign their ball, their shirt, their sneaker, their jersey, to take a photo with her. Yeah, they're going to see other players, but if you said, do you want to see Caitlin Clark today or player B, they're going to light up because they want to go see Caitlin Clark. It's factual. And I'm sorry if people can't come to reality, can't come to grips with that. It is just, it's factual. That's all. I mean, it's a great question. I mean, that's the face. That's markability. That's going to put asses in the seats. That chart is going to go up. Yeah. That's why she's doing all these commercials and had these endorsement deals. The numbers do not lie. They just don't. Old guards want to cash in on CC's success. They want to get paid too after criticizing her for 3 years. Of course. Yeah, because she's a friggin' mercenary. She's a mercenary. There are players that you can have in this league that are marketable. Look, Angel Reese is a marketable player. Like her or not, she's a marketable player. She is. She has an edge to her. She's got a look to her. She's got a swag to her. She's a marketable player. You might not like her game. You might not like what she says, but there's branding opportunities with Angel Reese. But it pales in comparison to Caitlin Clark. Cunningham. You look at Cunningham and you say, okay, she's an attractive girl. She can play a little bit. She's outspoken. She's smart. She's educated. She got a little edge too. She's going to stand her ground. There's marketability. There's players in the league you can brand and market. 100%. But they're not on the level of Clark because they don't bring the eyeballs in. You can't say 3.6 and insert other players. You can't sit there and say the value of these franchises have gone up exponentially because of these. No. And to your point, some of these players don't see it. They don't understand it. I mean, if that's me, if I'm working at a job in an office and one of my co-workers is killing it, I want to find out what the hell you're doing. How you doing it? How you getting there? And I'm also going to turn around and what? I want to be a part of this. I mean, come on. What are you telling me? Of course I have Bustelo. Of course. I love Bustelo. How do you know about Bustelo? Coming with me with a little Bustelo. It's very good. Very, very good. My friends from DR, Santo Domingo, they would make a lot of Bustelo. No Bustelo con leche. Straight. We don't, you don't put cream. You don't really, it's espresso, right? So, I'll tell you what else is great. You ever have Turkish coffee before? Oh, phenomenal. Phenomenal. Turkish coffee, because they still have the little, the grains or whatever. You got to take that on the bottom of the cup. It's not for the faint of heart. It's not. It's an acquired taste. I had a friend who knew the owner of Bustelo from Peru. 10-ounce brick was in Walmart. What? Are you serious? Huh. DB, all right, what do we got here? Thank you for the kind words about my interview today. Thank you for remembering. I think it went well. I'll keep you posted. Now, here's the question. Inquiring minds want to know. When you were in the interview, did you turn around and say to them, they probably said to you, what do you offer us? Did you flip the script? Did you say, well, hold on a second. What can you offer me? The whole league office needs to be cleaned out. Just getting rid of Kathy is not enough. They have to have a clean sweep. An overhaul is correct. And I think Adam Silver is going to force the hand a little bit. I do. I think Adam Silver is definitely going to force the hand. They know they're not going to extend Humperdinck. They're not. I think she's done after this season. And as I said, the problem now is what? She can literally pick up the phone and you can talk about all the stockholders and she can say, hey, check this out. Do you see these ratings? Now, we know it's Caitlin Clark, but she's going to try to be a little too cute for the room, smart for the room, and she's going to take credit because it still is on her watch. It is. How in the world don't people understand that CeCe brought millions of new eyes to the league? The old guard wants the money, just not the criticism it comes with. Because they don't want to admit it, Pam. They don't. They don't. That's okay. They absolutely don't. They just... I don't really know what to say. It's hard sometimes. People they don't want to look past certain things because, as I always say on the show, humans are wired a certain way. There's already this preconceived notion. And I'll try to draw an analogy or at least an example. I don't know, have you ever worked a job or maybe met a friend of a friend or someone that you met for some reason, you never really gave them a shot. You never really gave that job a shot. You just didn't like it. You never gave that person a shot, the relation a shot. You just looked at it. You didn't like it. You weren't comfortable with it. I feel the mainstream media, Caitlin Clark, upset the apple cart. She disrupted the masses. So what happens is you get these talking heads on these networks like the Rat Ship, like ESPN, and they will push set agenda because they don't want a player of her stature, of her ilk, of her look to get any type of flowers, any type of respect. And you can, I don't even know because I'm on the air right now, but I'm wondering if any of the or it will be acknowledged, say, Friday night when they play again, if they even bring up the ratings. It's bad enough she should be in the MVP conversation because she is a legit, credible MVP candidate. But when they start these cold openings of these broadcasts, they don't even mention her. They don't even mention her. So this is why I try to tell people, or at least when I come on, it's not being a Clarkie, as you say, or a Clark fan. It's me as a broadcaster for 20-something odd years who was also a journalist and a writer. I talk about this because it's more about the perception of the optics. It's not about being a fan. Like I said, there's no jerseys behind me. If we're talking the Giants, the Yankees, the Rangers, the Knicks, yeah, I bleed those teams. I like this league. I love basketball. I hate this league for how it's run, but I enjoy the league, if that makes sense. And as you guys know, or the first timers might be chiming in, I call games in the States and overseas. So I'm a basketball guy, and I love the NFL, and I love football, and I love boxing, right? So I like to think I can talk pretty much well-rounded in any sport. As my guy TG found out today, we also dabbled in a little baseball, right? So I look at it differently. Where some of you might come on and say, I'm not a fanboy. I look at it from a broadcaster, from a journalist, from someone who calls games and covers sports, a different lens. That's all. I can appreciate the talent. I can appreciate her game. I'm more impressed with the eyeballs and her value. To me, that's something I've always kind of gravitated for. When you've got a game changer, like when Tiger burst on the scene, it was all about what? Tiger or the field. And Tiger had his run for so many years. And again, he had so many issues with the injuries and the addictions and the divorces and all this stuff. But you still watched because he was still Tiger. But he wasn't at his apex. He wasn't at the coup de grace. Right now, she's still young. I don't think she scratched the surface. Now, imagine if golf didn't embrace what they had in Tiger. They did, and it went to another level. It made the sport sexy. Guys wanted to play golf on a Saturday if they didn't play golf. They wanted to tune in to the U.S. Open, to the Masters on a Sunday. They were getting the Nike. They were getting the hat. Some guys were starting to lift weights, get in shape. If Tiger can do it, I can do it. He had that unbelievable effect on the game and the branding and the Nike and the swoosh and everything. No one's denying that. She has the same effect right now. Because at the time, Tiger was one of the most, if not the, recognizable faces in all of sport. And all I'm saying is that I believe, my opinion is not only she's proven she's the face of this league, which I think we kind of already knew that, but the numbers now back it up. I'll take it a step further. I believe she is the face of American sports right now at this moment. And you can push back. You can say I've had too much coffee, whatever. That's okay. It is my opinion. You don't need to get bent out of shape over it. If we agree, we agree. If we don't, we don't. I laid it out why I believe that. And it's not about comparing salaries. That's foolish. That's goofy talk. How the hell are you going to compare an NFL player or a franchise quarterback, a Hall of Fame quarterback, NFL salary, which they're making $35-40 million a year, 200-something odd million guaranteed like Deshaun Watson, to a Caitlin Clark? That's goofy. It's apples and oranges, okay? It's like talking about one of the greatest pastries of the world and then comparing it to Entenmann's. And I love Entenmann's, don't get me wrong, but let's just kind of put it in perspective, right? That's all. That's all. Clark transcends the league. You guys on the Bustelo still. I love Bustelo, man. I'm telling you. Oh my God, when Flipper Anderson caught that pass and ran into the tunnel, it was the only time I saw my late father throw something at the TV set. Wow. I was so pissed off that day that I went upstairs and I ripped up a Phil Simms autograph because I met Phil when I was a kid. I was so pissed off and I punched the wall. I got my ass beat because, you learn very early it's only a friggin' game. But yeah, I was, yeah. Hate it, Ridley Miller. We respect it. Thanks for the painful memories. Yeah, I mean, Reggie Miller was a Nick killer. He was. Uh, Other countries are watching her. She's the gift that keeps on giving. Kind of like Bustelo. Some of you guys like my Entenmann's comment. Entenmann's, you know the Seinfeld reference? They had a little aisle on the end, right? Those ratings are what are getting these players paid and seen by more than any WNBA players ever have. Yes. That's why you have to understand exactly what you have in front of you. And the problem is they don't. They don't. WNBA ratings are abysmal with other teams except Caitlin Clark games. Correct. Mike in Ohio chimes in. Q, how much coffee have you? A lot. I don't know. I had a lot of coffee today. And I'm trying to cut back too. Does anyone else have that problem? Like, do you guys need, I am curious, do you need a cup of coffee right away when you wake up in the morning? Is it more mental? Do you wake up and say to yourself, get the hell away from me if you don't have your coffee? Because I am that guy. I am. I think Indiana Fever average attendance around 19,000 a game dwarfs every other team. Wow, that's not a bad, that's a pretty damn good draw, man. 16, 17,000, yeah. Deladon was my girl, man. I covered Elena Deladon when she was in high school. She was a phenomenal player. I remember when she was getting covered in high school. She was unbelievable. Unbelievable. She was a great player. Oh, I didn't just turn the interview around and interview them. I told them what they needed and how I'd fit the bill. Go bold or go on. That is what we are talking about. Death Wish Coffee is the... Don't play. Well, you know, I'm powered and fueled by Fresh Roasted. I always put the friggin' show notes. You guys get 20% off. And oh, by the way, because Halloween's around the corner, I can't believe I'm saying that, pumpkin spice, you got to hit it. Now, I was called a little fugazi because I wanted pumpkin spice. I'll tell you right now, pumpkin spice, it needs to be in season 12 months out of the year. It has to. It has to be in season every day. You should be able to have pumpkin spice every day. Every day. You want to have the Bustelo, you want to have the fresh roasted, but pumpkin spice. 100%. Tina said, there you go. Got my pumpkin spice. Got the Starbucks. Tina, I'm going to be honest here. I'm going to be honest. Starbucks is a little too... What's the word I'm looking for? And I know you're laughing. A little too, I don't know. I was never a Starbucks. I mean, you know, obviously because one of my sponsors is Fresh Roasted, but I was never a Starbucks fan. Never. I just felt it's expensive too. I mean, the price of coffee is utterly ridiculous. It really is. Now, there are some spots you go to and you get the little food truck and you get a cup of coffee for like $1. There, I mean, you know, some of you guys know it's very prominent down in Florida and Miami. Go off of Collins Avenue, go to Brickell, go to Calle Ocho, go to Little Havana, Little Haiti. You get $1. And you go, when I used to fly out for broadcast, you go to that airport, you get the Bustelo all over. You get the Cuban coffee. But Starbucks, can't do it. I can't. I don't know. And the other thing is I like sugar, but I've had to cut back, as you guys can imagine. So I need a little bit of sugar in the coffee, a little bit. So I don't know. Rich prefers losing football teams. I know where you're going with that. I know exactly where you're going with that one. That's funny. That is funny. Let me see. No, I don't think, listen, you got to be careful with this, right? I don't believe players look at her and hate her because she is a white player. I honestly don't believe that. I think they play her hard because they are jealous of her because she's a great player and she gets a lot of shine. Now, If you asked me, is there a racial element involved in this league? Yes. But I also believe that the problem is from the media. They have made the league very divisive and toxic. Now, it's not good when you have players come out and say white privilege. That's divisive. You know it and I know it. But when you have other players on TV and they push this sisterhood, it's really not a sisterhood. It's not, because to me, the brotherhood to sisterhood is when you band together. You uplift everyone. They don't do that. They don't do that. Now, she's dominating at times. Yeah, 100%. 100%. But I think people forget that she's still young. She's 24. And if she decides to not go anywhere, she's going to dominate. And remember now, these other players, some of these older guards, some of these older vets, they're getting older. Their time is coming to an end. She's going to continue to be the face of the league. Now, is someone going to rival her? Is there going to be a draft pick coming up? Is it going to be miles down the road? I don't know. Only time will tell. But right now, like anything else, when you got a hot topic, you got something trending, you got, you got what is it? The expression, right? You got to jump while the iron's hot, or whatever the hell it is. You know, I butcher that shit. But you got an opportunity right now to cash in on it. And the league, they're cashing in on it, but they're doing it half-ass, if that makes sense. It's like, well, she's there, we'll kind of get out of her way, but we can't get out of her way because we got to make sure we still keep our thumb on her, but we want to benefit from having her around. It just doesn't jive with me. It doesn't. And that's why they need new leadership. You can't have it both ways. I say this all the time on the air. You can't serve two masters. You can't. You can't placate everyone. Paul, right back at you, brother. Be well, man. Stay safe. And it's all in good fun, brother. Always. Got a lot of votes for Bustelo here. I got kicked out of the clubhouse at a golf tournament when Robert Ory made the shot against the Kings. I purposely refuse to watch any WNBA besides CC. There you go. All right. I think you are in the majority, right? I don't say get away from me, but I do get my espresso machine humming first thing in the morning. There you go, Billy boy. That is fantastic. No. Even like I know I have the K-Cups. I got to fire them off even if I let the dog sleep for like a second, a little longer. But no, I got to. King season ticket holder was not kicked out for cheering. Whew. Wow. You still pissed off about that series with Donaghy? I have to find that interview. I really do. I have to find the audio of the interview I had with Tim Donaghy after the 60 Minutes piece came out. It was incredible radio, man. Incredible. Immediately coffee. Don't talk to me until coffee. And one ice for the afternoon. I'm a coffee connoisseur and have a specialty coffee cafe right inside of my neighborhood. Wow, Tina got a little high maintenance going on over there. The little Starbucks, the little aficionado, right? Masarosa coffee is the best. I will try that. You need the death wish. Do you guys remember? I know, but it's, I know. Trust me, I know. But when you're on the go as much as I am, and my sleeping habits are ridiculous. When I call the games overseas, now just to put it in perspective, when I call the games overseas, especially come January, February, the games over in Thailand, they can't get a gym until 1 o'clock in the afternoon. Now, Do the math. It's a 12-hour difference. So picture me half asleep, getting a couple hours sleep in the night, waking up, having like 7 K-cups in front of me, getting my protein shake, getting my fruit, getting my, I love my Greek yogurt, right? And half asleep, got to wash up, shower, which I shouldn't do because it almost relaxes you too much late, at 11 o'clock at night, to go on the air at 12, and not just for an hour. I do 6 to 7 straight games without a break. Like between, I can run if I need to use the restroom or wash up, make sure the dog's okay. She's dead asleep by that time. Kiki is, and get more coffee. But it just to kind of put it in perspective, it's brutal, man. It's brutal. Just to put it in perspective, like the time difference. So yeah, I know the K cups aren't fresh, but they're quick. They're quick. Pumpkin double IPA, huh? Muddy less water. Coffee connoisseur. I'm not ashamed to admit the cafe coffee is my. Ugh. Is that McDonald's? Yeah, I can't do that, guys. I can't. I can't. Oh my goodness. Oh, you asked a restaurant, is there a Oh, that is fantastic. Did you just make a fresh pot? Oh man, that is great. Yes, let's go Giants. That is fantastic, man. Is it? Do you really do that? Wow. Would you like coffee? Is it fresh? So a couple guys during the football season that get on the chat, we always talk about going to diners, right? And how you always have that, the sweet waitress. She'll come up to you, right? I mean, we've all been there. You got to follow me for a second. We've all been there. And what happens, right? She comes over to you, and what does she say? Can I top you off, fill you up, add a little more, freshen you up? You need a little more? You want a refill? How about a fresh cup? And it's always like this. Top you off, hun? Hey, what do you say there, sweetie? Get you a fresh cup there, handsome? How we doing over there with the coffee? You need anything else? Oh, man. That is too funny. You guys are too much. Starbucks is too bold, but if you wait until December, Kroger send the pumpkin spice leftovers and marked on. Are you serious? Oh, man. Hey, you got to save, man. You got to penny pinch. You have to. You have to. Pumpkin spice over hazelnut or French vanilla? Yes. Yeah. Got to do it, man. I got to do it. Listen, come holidays, I mean, we had a whole segment devoted to freaking Christmas cookies. TG says Donaghy admitted that the Kings-Lakers series was fixed. We all know it was fixed. Refs tried to give Kings game, but the Kings choked and missed all those free throws. The free throw disparity was horrible. It was absolutely horrible. It really was. It was bad, man. But that was the officiating in the league, and we know it was a major, major problem at the time. This league, I look at the W's. We start to close it out for a second. I look around this league. The one thing they need to address, they have to figure out a way to hire really train full-time referees. Really. Just figure out a way to make sure these refs know exactly what they're doing, because this is what you don't want in the playoffs. You don't want in the playoffs where they start to give the whistle, or they start to basically call the game differently for Caitlin Clark. Because if you haven't done it during the regular season, why change now? Now, in the playoffs, it's a lot more physical, so you would hope that they were a little more judicious with the whistle and were fair with the whistle. But it's yet to be seen, and that's something to kind of monitor going forward because they need these games to be played cleanly. They do. Because then what's going to happen is if they do start to have those calls, by the way, Valkyrie's all over the sun. That game wasn't even close, 89-64. Definitely covered the number on that one. But if the game is not clean and all of a sudden they start or Caitlin Clark starts getting the calls, then you're going to hear what? Well, they want to keep the fever in the playoffs, stretch the series. Why? Because of ratings. This is why today's show was fun with the ratings because they're not going away. They're not going away. These ratings are what they are. And as I said, I believe right now, unequivocally, definitely the face of the league, but I even went to another level, and I know some guys are like, what are you talking about? I believe she's the face of American sports at this moment and will be for a while. If the league understands that, if the league embraces it, it can go to another level. There's going to be more sustainability, but they have to recognize it. They do, and they haven't. And this is why when you hear like a Jamel Hill, she's goofy. Because RG3 comes out and says she's the face of the league, and Jamel Hill's trying to disparage him. And I got news for you, Jamel Hill. You're flat out wrong. You're flat out wrong. The numbers don't lie. The TV ratings, they're proof. The popularity, it is there. All right, we got to start wrapping up. By the way, I will put the Fresh Roasted Coffee link out there if you guys want to have coffee. You people really love coffee standards if you aren't grinding your own fresh beans and have real... Oh, whoa. Listen, I'm on the go, so I do the K-Cups, but I do love the Bustelo, and I love Turkish coffee as well. If the coffee is good, you don't need any... What is this, DB? You don't need any... All right. NBA games used to be fixed for TV ratings. Now games are fixed for prop bets. That's an issue. You know, you guys would have made a lot of money if you were playing these Angel Reese rebounds. Just saying. I'm just saying. That last tech on the CC when she brushed up against a ref really exposed them. That's why it was rescinded so quickly. Correct. Where she was trying to save the ball from going out of bounds. Yep. Valkyries get the most in seats. Indiana and New York, all three teams usually sell at Valkyries. Well, fans love Indy. Interesting. That's a nice little. That's a nice little point. I mean, Gen X. What are we doing here? I'm laughing at it, but you know, I'm not. I'm not pulling it up. Yes, there's a lot of jealousy. Yeah, I didn't check, but they blew him out, right? I see that. Oh, their bench. I mean, Jesus. Wow. 1, 2, 3 players, double digits. Their bench was absolutely dominant. Connecticut stinks, though. But, hey, you know, 10 to 25 from beyond the arc. Q, if CC decides all this fighting is not worth it and decides to... bend the knee and stays with Indiana Fever and SW long term, she will lose many fans. No, you are not, by the way. I don't think they're going to pay her, to be honest. And I think if they want to go long term with Stephanie White as head coach, I don't know. What do you do? I mean, is it going to change? Are they going to trade Boston? What are they going to do with Mitchell? I mean, they're going to keep... Listen, watch these games. I mentioned this. Watch these games over the next several weeks because you already know Boston's liability on the floor when they run this hub. And when they don't run the hub and she wasn't on the floor, look what Mitchell and Clark did. They had brilliant performances. So, you know, one hand's got to wash the other. Man, I don't know. That's a great question. I don't think she's going to get paid. I don't think she's going to. She has so much. Do you understand the leverage that she has right now? You understand? Like, this is why you strike while the iron's hot. She has so much leverage, especially with these numbers coming out. And it's a shame that she wasn't a free agent after this season, but this is the body of work in the resume. And the other thing is this: if they make a deep run in the playoffs, that coach has bought some more time. If they get bounced early and she goes back to this hub and it's a shit show, do they turn around and get rid of the head coach? And would that make Caitlin Clark more inclined to stay with the franchise long term? I just don't know. I just don't know. I would have so much leveraging power right now. I would ask for the world. I know. You commented on that the other day, and I appreciate you bringing that up. Because of the restricted and the court designation, yes. And that is a problem long term, and I'm going to tell you why. Because, see, she's in a very precarious position right now. Caitlin Clark is. I know she wants to stay with the franchise, and she signed that rookie deal under 2027. So we know the salary has gone up, but they picked up her fourth-year option, right? So the problem now is, as like Jen alluded to, the contract. You'll have to force your way out of Indiana. Here's the problem. When you force your way out and you're a player of her caliber, magnitude, and popularity, when you do something like that, it's, again, human of us, the fans, they react. And they become very volatile. I'm not going to suggest if that happened, it's like burning jerseys. But then all of a sudden, a fan base that has adored you, they feel betrayed. I don't think she would do that. I don't. I really don't. And it's tough, man, because it's the coach. I really believe if there was a different coach in place and ran the offense, we would not even have these conversations. If she ran the offense, we're not even talking about what she would do down the road or what she wouldn't do. That's all. I think she has a bad agent and team around her. I think there's something to be said about that. I think they're more worried about her brand and marketability than keeping her happy on the floor, right? It's a hard watch with this offense. It is. I just... if you're going to be stuck, then give me the head coach who really wants to build the offense around you. And if they go to that hub on Friday, and then, by the way, Boston again going on the podcast, giving more flowers to Mitchell, it's like, come on, man. I think it's the coach. And I think this coach is the problem. I really do. I can be miserable, but make a lot of money and be miserable. But I can be happy, make good money, and want to stay, if that makes sense. If you brought in a coach that understands exactly how to run this offense with her, manning the point and letting her do what she does best, then guess what? You don't become greedy, you don't force a trade, and you don't try to bend the franchise over backwards. Now, I still think she should do that, bend them over backwards, and get what's hers, because she's earned it. She has flat out earned it. It's not about the money for Caitlin. Should be about her joy and happiness. So please run, don't walk. Yeah. You got to see what they do in the playoffs. If they get bounced, then all bets are off. She can even after the playoffs through her agent. You got to be careful. You don't want to talk through your agent to say you're not happy with the head coach to the GM, because the GM is going to tell that back to the head coach. That can make for a very awkward position. DB, send a good juju your way. I hope you get that call tomorrow. And remember, when you negotiate, throw in like another 10,000. Go higher, right? I think she's hurting her brand and legacy with this team, but that's not her fault. Her brand is fine. And there's something, TG, you've got to think about this for a second. She's doing this in spite of all this. which to me adds more value. The minutes restriction, all this other crap, right? I think she wants to play in that market. She knows the fans adore her. She loves the fans. I actually genuinely believe she cares about her teammates. I just don't know what she thinks of this head coach. If she's faking it, she's doing a hell of a job. That's all. I think they baby Mitchell because she's fragile. She always talks about people pushing her up. It got worse with her dad passing. They think CC doesn't need the kind words. No, every player needs to be lifted up, but good coaching understands who to put their arm around and who to push, if that makes sense. And listen, anytime you lose a parent, that's going to weigh on you, right? And it's how you overcome that adversity. So I think one of these things are, it's kind of a twofold, right? DB anytime, brother. Mark, be well, man. And I like that deal that you got on the coffee. That's pretty sound. I think this year has been all about propping Cam as a superstar. They paid AB, and now AB. I know you're going to finish that. I know where you're going with the AB. She's been horrible. Yeah, I think there's something to be said there. I think she genuinely cares about her teammates, but jealousy is a powerful thing, man. And they got stuck with that AB contract, right? So, all right. What do we got there? 10? Oh, my goodness. 2 hours. Man, you guys make the time fly by. It's unbelievable. I mean, we got a little coffee talk in here. Remember that on Saturday Night Live? Coffee talk? Talk amongst yourselves. Tomorrow, back on in the afternoon. Man, we got rid of those trolls pretty fast, did we not? Unadulterated. When Wilt Chamberlain bought into Alex Hannah's offense and passed to his cutters, Wilt led the league in assists. That was what, 73? CC can follow that formula, and the Fever can make a deep run. Generational pass. What was that, 73, right? That 73 squad? Or 72-73. I think it was that 1972-1973 Lakers squad, because the Knicks won it in 73. But the Lakers, didn't the Lakers win in 72-73? They beat the Knicks in 5. No, 72-73, they lost to the Knicks in 5. Okay? So then it had to be the 71-72 season. They beat the Knicks in 5. Then they lost to them in 73. That 71-72 team, by the way, to your point with Wilt, outstanding. That's great knowledge you're dropping right there. They were stacked. Jerry West, McMillan, Gail Goodrich, Baylor, Jesus. Wilt Chamberlain, my goodness. They had a bench. Remember, Pat Riley was part of that bench. But that is changing the game. That's changing your game, is it not? Right? Bought into pick and roll, fine with sitting and ice and CC. Yeah, never a good thing. Good night, y'all. Another great chat with some. All right, you got it, Billy. Be well, man. Yeah, you guys are staying up a little too late. 67-66 with the Sixers. Okay, won again with the Lakers, yes. 66-67, 67-68 team. That was an unbelievable Sixers team. Yes. Correct. Late on in his career, yeah, I think the Sixers were like 68-13 that year. That was the Jack Ramsey squad, right? That was a hell of a team, too. I think one of the most underrated players, and he was a rookie that year, Billy Cunningham. Hands down. Underrated. Yeah, great team. Absolutely. All right. We're going to start wrapping it up. I'm not going to have any more coffee, but I will put out my fresh roasted coffee link. 20% off. We know you guys absolutely love coffee. That's good. Holiday time, we will probably have our seeding of the best cookies. We'll say that for them. But you guys are fantastic. Thank you so much for hanging with me on a Wednesday. We fired off earlier today, but I definitely wanted to come on a Wednesday night. And the fact that you guys hung with me, you guys are fantastic. I love when you guys hit the chats, the subscribe buttons, the notifications. Keep it rolling. Always enjoy the chat. Don't forget, we're powered by Play It Again Sports, fresh roasted coffee. Also, Three Brooks Bourbon. Get ready with tea. Like, comment, subscribe. I'll post some shorts up there on the YouTube channel as well as on IG and on TikTok. But I've kept you guys late. I have to go after I get off the air. I got to watch the Dolly Parton special that I recorded. And then, how about this? It's always in threes, right? So, Hayden Panettiere passes away, which is horrible. And then, the great Dolly Parton passes away. And then Tim Curry passed away. Everything always happens in threes. But I did record the Dolly Parton special. How do you not love Dolly Parton, right? She's unbelievable. Tina, be well. Sleep well. All right, you guys are fantastic. Tomorrow, back on. Click the notifications. You guys have a wonderful Wednesday. I hope to hear from you tomorrow on a Thursday. As always, appreciate you tuning in to this edition of On Cue. I'm Rich Quiñones. Be safe, be sound. And as always, hasta luego, buen día.